today's episode of PJ and the Beard, we're going to look at the Kangra from Walrus Audio, and the Beard's going to tell you about it.
Yeah, so this pedal. So often we've been getting pedals in to do the show, let's say the show. We have a direction that we want to go. So we did the Leslie series, we did the Tremolo series. So really all the gear that we were either investing money in or whatever was going into those series. But every once in a while...
One of the companies we're talking to about that.
Well, yeah, I think, when we started the Tremolo series, I was like, man, we got to get the Monument from Walrus because the Monument looks awesome. But man, that Kangra looks really awesome too. And I freely admit, like sometimes you just got to get it because you want it, right? And this was one of those ones that I just wanted. So the Kangra Fuzz from Walrus. You have a little bit of backstory about it?
About the name, yeah. I guess we can get right into the name. So, I may not say his last name right, which is horrible. But basically, it's the guitarist from Saturday Night Live band, Jared Sheriff. He's been in the band since 2007. He's a big fan of fuzz and envelope filters and general quirkiness. He's a producer, an engineer, a writer. What is a sonic explorer? Which that makes a lot of sense as we're going to get into this. So he partnered in 2013 with Walrus Audio and had conversations with Colt and others, and they built this pedal for him that has a lot of interesting features that we'll talk a little bit about. But one thing I was always like, Kangra, what does a Kangra mean? I mean, what is that? And so there is a little story, which they do have some nice glossy things, and in the back he's talking about the name. He said, because the name is a big thing. The name is always, you're trying to name a band, you're trying to name a baby, you're trying to name a dog. Like, you want something to have meaning. So he said, here, we were looking for a name. We had a few brainstorm sessions, but nothing was sticking. I really wanted to find something that called to the duality of the pedal, the beauty of the clean filter side and the intensity of the fuzz side. One image came to mind in 2013. Jared stayed in the Kangra Valley, right below where the Dalai Lama lives in India. And it was this idyllic, peaceful, and gorgeous valley right underneath the looming mammoth Himalayas. I thought that really spoke to the two sides of this pedal, and everyone loved it. So that's where the name came from. Yeah. And the photo depicts him hiking in the valley on a footbridge that actually exists, staring up at the Himalayas. And you can see he's right there.
Right.
So I thought it was interesting. I was like, Kangra,
cool.
What does that mean? I mean, So interesting pedal, interesting story. There's more about it here. He does play it in the Saturday Night Live band. I was like, well, what would this guy use it for? But they play a variety of music.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, that's the name of the pedal. And but now we're going to talk about the duality of the pedal. And it is an interesting one.
It is.
I'm not sure the Dalai Lama would be down with parts of it. I don't know. We're going to find out.
I like that.
Oh, look at that. Oh,
that's very nice.
The swag game was high.
So let's split it. We'll talk first about the right side of the pedal. And that's the fuzz side. And so the only knob that we have going on here is the volume knob. And I don't even know that we need to touch the volume knob.
Right. It makes it louder.
Yeah. Unlike some of our demos, we're not like diving into every switch and knob and like the range of everyone. This is just like kind of mind blown in the fact that I love envelope filters. I love octave up, octave down. I don't like the poly octave, like tracking octave as much, but like the weird overtone octave up stuff and like the old OC2 Boss pedals with the octave. That kind of stuff I love. And this has it. So you have two switches. It goes from... On the left would be scooped mids, and then when you flip it over towards where it says mid, you get like a flat mid response. And then below that, you have a modern and a vintage fuzz. So right now it's on the modern fuzz in the scooped mid. And I say we just get right into what does that sound like.
Two sides. You're playing.
Playing a 2000. Yeah. 14 maybe. 2000.
It's not as easy as the PRSs where they have the year.
Right. Playing a Strat.
Yes.
It's an American standard Strat or whatever. Through the Tyler PT22. All right, and so it sounds like.
Staying on the modern side, now putting the flat mids in. Flipping over to the vintage and going back with the mid scooped out. Vintage with the flat mids. Four very distinct sounds.
Yeah.
Very, very different.
And I go back and forth on which one I like better.
I'm with you. I mean, the nasty, nasally, just gritty, growly of the modern with the mid scooped, and then you flip the mids back on, you're like, I hear a little bit more of the, maybe not clarity, but then you flip it to vintage, you're like, after coming off the modern, you have to get use of all of the drop of all of that angst, and then you're like, well, that's more of a pure... I think Jimi Hendrix lives in that box somewhere, probably on one of those settings. So
right, and I think it's worth saying that we had a conversation. We saw little cuts in the video. We had some conversations trying to figure out where to go pickup wise, and we went with a middle pickup in the end. But I think it might even be just leaving it on here worthwhile, real quick, to show you neck, middle, and bridge down at the 12th fret, so we get those octaves in there.
So this is vintage with the flat mids.
Finish with flat. All right, so.
That pickup sounded a little detuned, like it was one fret off. Just slide the neck down.
We edit the video when we mess up talking, but not
when we play. You get all the gnarly playing. We will change for a word, but not for playing.
Jeez, that's terrible. Yeah, I think I overestimated.
So you can hear the tonal differences in the pickup selection as well.
Yeah. So that's the fuzz side. But I told you I like upper octave stuff and I like envelope filter stuff. So if we go over to the other side of the pedal now.
With these nice soft switches, by the way.
Yeah. We have some interesting things happening. The sensitivity. Adjust the sensitivity of the envelope applied to the filter cutoff. Set lower for minimal cutoff frequency movement and higher to really open the filter wide when playing hard. The resonance knob, the res knob, controls the resonance of the two-pole low-pass filter circuit. Low settings offer a smoother, more bell-like tone. Smooth and bell-like on this pedal. Okay. And higher settings yield a more pointed, aggressive filter speed.
If you've ever wondered what the Liberty Bell that has the crack in it sounds like when it's rung, that's the bell characteristic in this pedal.
The envelope switch then engages the envelope applied to the filter cutoff frequency to the right, disengages it to the left. And then the frequency knob sets the filter cutoff frequency of the filter circuit. Use this control to shape the fuzz signal and or signals from other pedals in your chain. So this is kind of cool. Let's switch this over. So we're now on the filter cutoff. We're not doing the envelope filter. And we have plugged in a Moog EP2 expression pedal that is going to, in the heel position, move it down here. And then basically it's going to roll this knob, so we don't really have to roll the knob. We're not going to play too much in here, just give you an idea. There's a lot of other people that have been in here playing. We're just kind of like exploring the pedal. Almost kind of like a first look, but not at all a first look. But
For me it is. For him, not so much.
Let's use the... Just going to play a little bit and we'll... So one interesting feature on the envelope, on the expression pedal, when you get all the way back to your heel, it cuts it off. So...
The way my esteemed partner described it to me is it's like a wah-wah pedal. You're sweeping through frequencies. Yeah. Especially when you put it on the expression pedal.
Right.
And you can stop where you like it, or you can quack it, whatever you want to do there.
So then think about this. Any pedal that you have before this coming into it, that's going to affect that pedal. So that's an interesting use of it. Mm-hmm. And then it's also going to affect the fuzz.
Yeah.
So if we run the fuzz into that.
Set to stun.
Right. Okay, but that's not all. We can flip that switch, and then that engages an envelope filter. So you get like a... Gotta be careful and I'll get all... You heard it cut out the one time. And again, your fuzz is going into that.
Right. So that same kind of sweep.
It's and we didn't really twist any knobs yet.
No, just the expression pedal. That's it.
Right. So it is a ton of fun. There's a long pause there. It really is. I mean, it's like, I don't know. I love it. Walrus, great job. We have 3 Walrus pedals here, and all 3 of them are amazing. I will be honest with you. Somebody said to us in a recent video, they were like, maybe you should play...
Context of a song.
Yeah, play it with a track so we can hear it in context of a song, and I'm not really sure where I would use this in context of a song yet.
Opening hook and a solo.
But there's got to be a place for it that I'm going to be able to find to sleep this in, and it'll be one of those Sunday mornings when Pat and I are playing together, and it's going to come out of nowhere, and he's not going to hit him, but it's going to be a load of fun. So, Pat, you haven't plugged into it yet.
I have not. As a matter of fact, I played my very first envelope filter in this room. So this is definitely...
So we can start with the fuzz on.
Do you want me to just say goodbye and we play out and you start twisting knobs?
And then I'll start twisting knobs, maybe adding in some frequencies and some expression pedal. Actually, why don't I unplug the expression pedal, because then I can move this and people can see what I'm doing as you're playing out. But before we do that, we have to thank everybody that's been watching and supporting the channel. Every time you subscribe, hit the like button. leave a comment, go to Facebook, go to Instagram, follow us there. You're really helping the channel out. That's what makes this stuff possible and which allows us to keep getting pedals in and do ridiculous little videos like this just for fun. Mm-hmm. So with that, I think...
I'm PJ on behalf of the Beard, reminding you no matter what you hear, you never have too much gear.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I don't even know if I have all the right switches engaged and got my V-pick ready to go. I think you have to hit me on the... Sorry, Bubbler Mom.
Oh, my God.
That hurt. A couple of those ear darts with poison in them.